So let's start reading. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell. But my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. Sentimental means emotional. She came to leave me at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So the author says that silently my grandmother kissed me on my forehead, and I cherished it. I cherished the moist imprint. You know, when somebody kisses you, so there is a moisture left, there's a moist imprint left on your forehead. So that moist imprint the author cherished, and he said that perhaps it was the last sign of physical contact between us, because he was not sure whether he's going to meet his grandmother after 5 years when he comes back from abroad. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. So he says that no, that was not the last physical contact I had with my mother. But when I came after 5 years, she came to the station to pick me up. And then again, she was constantly reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer with frivolous rebuke. So he says that even though I came back, but her happiest moment was with her sparrows, which she fed with frivolous rebukes, which she fed with lot of enthusiasm, and constantly she used to feed the sparrows. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. So he says that she gathered certain women and she beated the drums and she started singing the homecoming songs of the warriors. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. The next morning she was taken ill. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. So the doctor came and told them that the fever was very temporary and it will go. But the grandmother knew that her end was near, and she said that since only few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. Because she always prayed, but it was only that day, few hours before she had to go, she knew that her end was near, she had omitted to pray. We protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. So basically, grandmother died that day. We lifted her all We lifted her off the bed and, as is customary, laid her over the ground and covered her with a red shroud. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretched to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard, all over the veranda and in her room. Right up to there, she lay dead and stiff, wrapped in the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Then there was no chirping. So see, even the birds were sad because grandmother was dead. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke it into little crumbs, means little pieces, the way my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse, that is dead body, off, they flew away quietly. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. So see, even the sparrows were sad because of the grandmother's death. So basically, author tries to tell us through this chapter that old age is a very difficult age, and in old age, people only demand your time. Loneliness is the biggest killer in old age. So my dear students, it's a lesson after reading this chapter that if there is somebody old in your house, you must try to give that person time, because old age is going to come on everybody. It will come on me, it will come on you. So in old age, these old people only demand your time, nothing else. So I think you must have understood the chapter by now. Read the chapter word by word with my 3 videos, and I'm sure you will be able to understand the chapter. So thank you and have a nice day.